We are here.
Co-director.
Co-director.
It almost sounds better than co-executive director.
I agree.
But because we're a nonprofit, I guess we just keep the full thing.
Okay, well, Co-E.D.
Yeah.
Co-executive is real stuffy. Co-executive director. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean.
But soon, well, one day we'll have a director of development, a director of operations. So then it's important that we're
executive director.
Yeah.
Got it. See, I'm still learning little shit like that.
Little shit. Yeah. We've basically been reinventing the wheel this whole time anyway. So, yeah. I mean, that's a good place to start, right? It's like this has been such a scrappy thing over the years, and it's in a great place, but boy, has it come a long way and has a long way to go, and we're in a great moment, but it still feels kind of homegrown.
Yes, I'm definitely, I mean, I can only really speak for myself, because you've been doing this for much longer, like in a more professional capacity or admin capacity. So like I was on the creative side for a long time, just doing what comes natural.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of this shit didn't come natural. You know?
For sure. Yeah.
Definitely a huge learning curve that I've only literally even begun to scratch the surface.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Yeah.
You know, Island Still.
Mm-hmm.
When he said
from Highlander.
Yeah, from Highlander.
Shout out.
Yes. Shout out for sure. He said
co-directors.
He said because we had did a
Alan and Ash. Shout out to Ash, though we've having that.
Yes, shout out to her because he was speaking for her when he said this.
Yeah.
Because we had went to go talk to him about the Co-E.D model and what it means, how how it feels, just what it's like what's the pros, what's the cons, and he said if my partner was here, because she's a black woman, I think, she would tell you to always remember you belong here. That's what he said. And anytime that I'm feeling like that overwhelming feeling, I remember that. Like that was probably the one thing. He said a lot of great things, but that was the one thing that I think I probably needed to hear the most. Was that. Yeah. Because sometimes you can feel kind of out of place. You're like, damn. Ain't nobody at the table shot nobody, ain't nobody at the table done. It's just, I don't know. It's just, you just, sometimes you feel out of place. Even though this whole nonprofit sector, right? This whole social justice thing is about people like me. You know what I mean? So I should never really feel out of place. But.
Yeah. It's really funny that you say that, actually, because how do you think I've been feeling for the past 9 years? In a different kind of way.
Yes.
So in a way, that's maybe what makes us complement each other.
Yes.
Because we're both outsiders to certain degrees.
Yes. Yeah, when you had the long hair and all that shit and, like rock star-y and shit, like people probably, I could totally see.
No, I actually mean more so being I'm the only person who hasn't shot somebody at the table.
Oh, okay.
It might not be the board meetings, but it's like...
Well, that's different, though, because yes, same thing. Right? I'm not taking that away. But I'm saying, even in the nonprofit space, you didn't really, fit.
For sure.
You didn't go to college. Yeah. You wasn't, super, clean cut. A lot of the people that we work with or that we meet in this space, they, occupy a certain demographic as far as education level and, status in the world just from, being born type shit. And sometimes I do worry about losing certain authenticities that I naturally have now. I'm going to lose a little bit of it. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like I might lose a little bit of it becoming more admin-y and stuff. I might lose certain things that I just used to normally... and I wonder what would that make of the program, right? Or of the creative side of what we do sometimes, but
interesting.
I don't worry about it too much. I'm just saying these are some of the things that I think about as I'm making this transition. Is the more buttoned up I become, what will that do to the creative side? Because some shit we didn't know no better. Yeah. We was just doing shit, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and then you start learning shit, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're not gonna do that. Yeah, let's do it this way. I don't want to lose too much.
I've found that so far I haven't lost the artistic juice. I almost am hungrier for it because I do so much admin stuff. So I don't want to speak for you, but for me it's been like, a pent up, like you're in the cage,
right,
like, and then you finally get to the art part and you're just like, yes, let's go,
Right.
So like this album, Tlashi Wiki, like I produced that one and it was at a time where there was a lot of heavy admin, a lot of operation stuff. It was very exciting, challenging as hell, but very exciting to get into Pro Tools, get in the weeds, work with musicians on adding instrumentation and stuff like that. The hard part has been, switching gears all the time. That's what's so hard, I feel like, for me. It's just, one day you're doing something super admin-y and then you get pulled in this creative direction and you're like, damn, how do I balance all that?
Yeah. That's the part.
But when I get to the creative part, I'm still like, okay, I can, it's still working.
Right. Yeah, and I don't mean like you lose the skill of it. I mean the edge.
It's gonna be hard to take away.
The naivete of like not knowing like all the shit in the back, the grant, and what we wrote for versus what's coming out, and like all that type of shit. Right. But I mean, cause whatever box, right? Say we write a fucking grant for Nickelodeon soundtrack. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do. It's gonna be that shit gonna be fire, even if it's like some shit that goes Nickelodeon. Yummy. Yeah, like so. I'm not saying like you lose the skill of it, but just the. But yes, the turning on and off. I have not been able to master that. But I know I'm not. I don't think I'm supposed to be at that stage yet.
I don't know if I definitely haven't mastered it yet. But boy, that took years. And for the first 6-7 years of DJC, I was working at Sets and Effects. So, maybe that helped in a way because my time was so sparing. Like I had to ration it so much. It really pushed me to get very organized, and yet still, as the time has opened up, it's like, damn, I still don't even have nearly enough time. And it's just like this never-ending thing. But I do think that operation-wise, right now, especially as you enter the role of Co-E.D, we're still young. We're going to have several years where we're wearing too many hats. It's just going to be like that. But then we'll eventually streamline stuff where we'll be able to just get in our creative bag more, or our programming bag more, and just kind of stay in that lane.
Right. And
it will still be hard as hell, but in probably different ways. And we just won't have to switch gears as much. We'll see. These are all hopes and dreams.
But I heard you had some questions written down.
Yeah, the first one I wrote down was, we met in, I want to say April or May, by letter, by snail mail, by one of these, prison letter, and you were obviously still incarcerated. You didn't have too much longer to go, thank God, but it was a totally different world that you were in, completely different world. So, what do you find, to fast forward to now, to be the most surprising thing of those 7 years?
Honestly, just the base answer is that I actually even still speak to you. Like, that I still even know you. Let alone that you're like a huge, person in my life. You know what I'm saying? But I never thought that it would be a thing where I would still be talking to you.
The camera cut off automatically.
I know. How about you?
Well, I was talking to a friend the other night about this, because we were talking about the Co-E.D thing and how you've grown so much in the organization. And it's like, you could call it just fate, which maybe it just is, and we could just say that. But then there's also certain things that are very, practical, right? Like, we're almost the same age. You're just a year or two older than me. We both grew up on the same rap. You live in Philly, and you had a job. You still work there a little bit, but you had a job that allowed you flexibility with your schedule. So even those practical things, it's like, I really understand how we've grown so much over the years, because we've had that capacity.
Right.
Like, our capacities have just been equal in a way.
As far as location and availability and, creativity.
Creativity, yeah, and art. We connect in art in so many ways. And actually, it's beautiful that the core of our relationship is art. It's not like we're hardcore administrators. That's not our passion.
Right.
So that's a good thing to remember, because for me, that's the core of why I personally, selfishly do this work. It's just the art, it's the music, it's the feelings. But in terms of surprising, I mean, yeah, and I guess I say all that to say, in some ways, it's not at all surprising to me where you're at now. So it was kind of a bad answer in terms of what was surprising, because basically nothing.
No, I was definitely surprised.
No, it is. It's a hell of a story.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Aside from, because you already gave me this answer a little bit before without me asking, but aside from, the time that it takes to kind of keep me abreast, or, if I got a task and then you gotta kind of, the time that it takes to ingratiate me with the role. Aside from that, what is the most difficult part of now bringing in a pretty much equal in something that you've been doing 100%? You've been the head guy in charge this whole time. So what's the most difficult part about that?
Probably getting you to the place where it's not pretty much equal, but is equal. Because right now I do have the advantage. I've been doing this for several years, and there's certain programs that I know how to use, like Premiere and Photoshop. But I think that the goal of a co-directorship should be to be equal.
Right.
I do. And actually, that question kind of made me remember something on the last question about what's been the most surprising. I actually think a thing that's been surprising is the amount that you've grown as an administrator. There were some times where in the early months of the deputy directorship, I was like, damn, like, I'm really reminding BL too much about certain shit. Like, this is really tiring me. And there's still certain stuff that I need to remind you of, but it's like your skills as an administrator have just gotten so good in such a short period of time, and that's surprising in a way, considering that you came into this like really just like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I was just going on vibes.
And look at you now.
And you know what's the number one thing that helps if a person is like that? Notes and calendars. That's it. Yeah. It's really nothing. You just have to like structure your life to the point where oh, this thing is coming up. Let me do this thing. Because if not, like you said earlier about time, that shit will just go so crazy. Like, and then it's the last thing on your mind. And you, oh shit, I'm supposed to be doing this, and you a day late, 2 days late. So like that was just the one thing that I feel like helped me a lot. As far as like remembering shit that I gotta do, and meeting deadlines and shit, just writing it down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Once I started writing it down, I was cool. I mean, for the most part.
Okay, it's kind of a PG question, but we'll go for it. What are you the most proud of with your work in DJC so far?
Damn.
It could be as an artist, it could be as a deputy director, it could be as a new Co-E.D. board member.
It is probably proud. It's not proud. Proud, I guess, is the wrong word. But working with Miss Naomi, I haven't done what I want to do. But that moment for me is just very surreal all the time. Like, I can never really wrap my head around it all the time.
Yeah.
That's like anytime I'm like doing it, I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this is some shit. Like I just, cause you just never ever, we just, granted, of course, everybody wanted Miss Naomi to get out. Like,
Yeah.
you know, of course. And like people that haven't been in jail for 15 years would be like, how Miss Naomi doing? What's her case looking like? You know, like, but she wasn't one of those people that was like fighting for her freedom. Like it wasn't like a campaigns and shit like that, because she was kind of accepting of her situation. So it was one of those people that people always asked about and all that, but you never really envisioned her out like some people who every day they fight and you like, I know that bitch gonna get out one day because
like
she won't. Yeah, right. It wasn't like that. So I think that's why. Mm-hmm. So it's not proud. It's just like, it just make me feel like I'm in a dream or a movie or it just doesn't feel real. Mm-hmm. The B Alexis project is the most, I guess, thing that I take pride in the most. I think it's really a great woman in hip hop album. I will even above mine. Like, and I'm not saying that means that it's like more blank than mine, like more whatever, more lyrical or more versatile or more not. It's not that. It's the things that she's like unafraid to address, and you know, the things that she's willing to talk about from the perspective of, you know, the woman that she is. And I feel like it's on me to like force this shit into the culture. Like, have to. Like, mine's was great and it had some great shit, but it wasn't for black girls. My shit ain't for the black girls, just so to speak, you know? Like, hers is just very, very important. It's more important than mine's. That's what it is. So what is yours? What is your most proud moment as Jim Crow founder and E.D.? Or just founder? Just founder.
Well, I'll go with my gut, which is the one I'm looking at right now, which is Territorial. I think that my gut says art, right? My gut says music, because that's what this whole thing started as. So I feel like, in a way, Sloshy Wiki is the Jim Crow LP. You know, like the LP hasn't come out yet. We have the EP, and we're actually working on the EP part 2, which you're executive producing, which would probably be in my top 5 of proud moments, but you said to pick one. So my gut is just Territorial. It was like all those years of learning about music and production and stuff, and I feel like I actually earned my stripes on that one as like an actual music producer. You know, I started as like a complete hack. There's still so much I have to learn about music theory, etc. But just getting the vibes of that album and like sequencing it the way it is and adding all the instrumentation and, you know, just making it basically a band. Like, I feel like I'm the 8th member or something of Territorial, low key. You know, that's my thing. And when I finish all the lyric videos, I think I'll be really proud of that too.
The EP too, because that's like in very early stages, so I can't claim it yet, but I imagine that that's going to be really proud moment also, because it's going to take me back to all like the very beginning, like, you know, working on a headed set, fucking day in day out type shit in the nighttime in the woods, getting bit by fucking mosquitoes and ticks and shit. I mean, I don't know if we got bit by ticks, but it's just like, that was my first real experience, like, professionally, you know, so it's gonna like bring it back. And I that's probably gonna be a moment for sure.
And that's gonna come out to 10 years in, so there's something about that like decade of DJC being a thing as a beautiful marker that you're gonna be the executive producer, not Fury Young, but you're gonna be the executive producer of the EP part 2, you know. And I mean, on a personal level, sorry, I'll just throw this in. I'm proud of that. I've grown as an artist and as a person where I can, you know, like, share the wealth a little bit in terms of like not being so precious about ideas and art. Well, it's gonna be an exciting new chapter for sure.
It is.
And I hope that, you know, we kind of can take the world by storm. because
I think we
I
can.
feel like, you know, we just have something cool, something special, and I think we have something people can learn from. In a way, we like embody our mission to some degree, you know, like dismantling stereotypes. I mean, look at us. Hello, hi, you know. So, yeah, weirdo, beardo.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I feel really great most of the time. Sometimes, you know, I can feel overwhelmed. Sometimes I can feel not as confident as I should. These are all, I think, just learning curves in life. Because I remember feeling like this when I fucking started my bullshit job when I first got out of jail. So,
Right.
like, I just think sometimes it just takes a while to get comfortable.
For sure.
But the difference between this and my bullshit job is the feeling of responsibility. Like, I feel like even if somebody don't know that they're inspired by me and what I'm doing, they are. Because I know what I know what it feels like. Like, when I see people who I know that been through some shit doing their thing, I know what it feel like. You know what I mean? You can't help but to be inspired by it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
that come with a lot of pressure.
Definitely. And we're the first nonprofit record label in the U.S. for justice impacted musicians. So that's a lot of pressure in and of itself as well.
Yeah, for sure. But the pressure makes me feel, most of the time, motivated. You know? It's just, you know, every here and there you're going to have those moments where you're like, damn, I don't think I can do this shit.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I get them maybe not once a week, but like every other week, you know? And there's patches where things feel real smooth, and then one thing will come up, and it's just like, damn, we need to put out that fire, like, immediately.
You can't let it, like, defeat you. Even if that means, nigga, go take a nap for 30 minutes and then just get back up or something. Like, sometimes you got to do things to reset whatever it is. Because a lot of that is, it wasn't the thing. It was the thing that activated it, but then it's me now. Right? Like, like the thing deflated you, but now it's you that's unmotivated. Like, it's not the thing no more. So,
Facts.
I don't know. But working it out.
Yeah.
Getting there.
I do the 30-minute naps too. Sometimes they're 45.
Yeah, man, this shit gonna be epic though. I think it's gonna work out.
I think so.
I think it's a great thing, and I can't wait to see who the next deputy director is and see what that is. And, and be having this conversation with that person, and then we can start seeing like our impact, like on a bigger scale. So
definitely.
So,
I just can't wait till we get an operations director. But that's a few years down the line. And well, actually, on that note, I did have one last question. Do you think about the 5-10 year thing too much, or are you more? I know you do with the organization strategically, but I mean, like, in terms of you, BL, do you think about where you see yourself in 5 or 10?
No, not right now. I got too much to learn. I can't really, like, in the past, yes, but not in these moments right now. These moments right now, I'm very focused on the present, like, and like the development of my skills and like trying to keep my brain sharp. And it's, you know, I have a horrible memory, but I know this has been getting better. Until he was like, put your memory back. One time she got mad at me for something. She's like,
it has been getting better.
Yeah, it's been getting better. And I don't know what that is, but I think it's from being more present and just like purposely trying to sharpen things daily. So I don't know what it's going to look like 5 years or 10 years from now, for me personally. What about you?
I knew that was coming. Well, you know, it's hard to say things like that because motherfuckers will quote you on it later. But, you know, we've talked about it. I think right now that I would like to just be the creative director of Dodge and Grow. You know, and we'll see how it goes. Like, maybe this Co-E.D thing lasts a while. I don't know. But I feel like the operations side of things, the admin side of things, it doesn't excite me that much. At the end of the day. And, you know, my heart is in the art. That kind of rhymes. But yeah, it is. It is. My heart is in the art, and I would like to not be switching gears all the time. Like, it would be pretty cool to do a DJC thing where a DJC existence across the board, to live a DJC existence where it's really about the creative stuff, and my brain is always in that space. And then, 10 years, I mean, I want to make my own music. I want to do my own art, and I don't know if I'll be able to really do that to the extent that I want to, also doing DJC full time. But I definitely would love to always be involved in DJC in some way. I mean, I started the goddamn thing. So, sort of like a David Rothenberg from Fortune Society. Like, he's still super present at Fortune and all their events, and I think he's on their board or whatnot. So, DJC is like my love.
Right.
But it would be cool to do my own thing.
Well, I definitely know that I do not plan on being on the admin side in 10 years. I don't.
For sure.
But definitely, in that case, I guess I do. I guess I've just stopped thinking about it. But I know what it is that I want to do, which is, first I want to train myself up, get myself trained up in a lot of different creative spaces, because most of my talents are natural. So I want to get more technical, right?
Right.
And then from there, I want to be able to train other people and teach other people. I think they say if you can't do, teach. And it's not that I can't do. It's just that I would definitely like to extend my gifts to other people. Like, I feel like we losing recipes in hip hop and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So it's my job to pass along the shit that I know. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to just have a bunch of artists on the label that I fuck with, and I want the label to be so solid, like TDE,
same.
Like Dreamville. Anybody that's signed, they know what it is. They know what they gonna get. This shit is gonna be fire. It don't matter. Yes, but not on no bullshit. You know what I mean? In order for that to happen, then we need a whole staff of people that's just as talented as us, that's trained and doing this shit.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do.
Beautiful.
I think that's it.
Here's to that. Yeah.
All right, man.
Great stuff.
All right, man. Yeah, man. Good luck.